Hi, this is Bird from Birds SVGs, and in this video we'll be putting together the 3D Tree Luminaires from the Home for Christmas SVG Collection. And these trees work with any of the electric lights or LEDs that you may have in your stash, but they are widely available on Amazon and places like that. So yeah, the trunk should actually be large enough to use with any electronic lights that you may already have. So I'm going to be starting with the trunk piece first of all. So you have this piece that you want to curve around and form a cylinder. So you're gluing along the tab and then holding it while the glue takes hold. When you're happy that your glue's taken hold, you want to be bending all of the teeth outwards. Now it seems a little bit strange, but you're adding glue to the textured side of your paper. Or if you're using pattern paper here, you want to add it to your pattern paper, but I would recommend using a cardstock for this layer. So I'm adding glue to the outside of these teeth, to the textured side, and then I'm just going to pop my ring on and slide it down, textured side up, and that's quite snug. So when you pop it down, you just need to run your fingers all the way around, adding a little bit of pressure, and all of your teeth should actually take hold. So it looks like a little top hat, but actually we'll be flipping that over and that will form the trunk of your tree. Okay, to put the top together, you want to fold along all of the score lines. Now there is one quite narrow edge, which is the little tab that you'll be adding your glue to close up the top of your tree. But fold along all of the score lines, and that will help the tree form the nice curve that you need. And then you want to add glue all the way along your little tab here. All the way to the top. Now this is the fiddliest bit. If you can do this, you're fine. So you want to close up your tree. I'm just bending that tab in a little bit. And it's just a little bit tricky at the top. But what I'm going to do in a moment is I can put my thumb and fingers either side at the bottom, but at the top you can't really get in there. So what I did is that I found a couple of different tools that I have. I've got a couple of bone folders, and I've got a spatula that have got quite pointed ends on them. So I ran one along the inside. You can see I picked out a few here. So anything like that that you've got in your stash, I ran it along the tab and up into that point. It's just that little pointy end, if you can get some pressure in there, because it gets a little bit narrow to actually pop your finger in. Okay, so I'm folding along, folding all of my teeth inwards. And actually, it might be better to fold them outwards to begin with, and then fold them inwards a little bit later on. And then I'm just making sure that the bottom edge of the tree will actually curve. So I'm just kind of bending it in between each tooth, because I'm going to be popping the base into inside my teeth. So I'm adding glue to the inside of that tooth. Now this is where I make the mistake, so you don't have to. I realised that really I needed my teeth to be bent outwards so I could put my the circle part on the inside. So I'm doing that now, and I'm bending all the teeth outwards, and actually the first tab popped off, so I'll re-glue that in a moment. So I'm bending all the teeth outwards, and then I can ease my circle inside the bottom of my cone area. Now what you want to do when you're adding this in is you want to line up the joins. So you want the join in your cone to kind of match where the join is in your trunk. So you can keep all the seams to the back when you've, you know, got it out on display. So again, I've added glue to one tooth, and I just held it and waited for the glue to take hold, and then that kind of holds your circle, and it allows you then to ease it into the bottom of your cone because it's kind of held in that one point. So I've eased it in, and then what I'm doing is I'm adding glue to the inside of the teeth all the way round. Make sure they're all covered. Okay, now you want to put one hand inside your trunk and one hand on the outside. So you're pushing against that kind of ring piece there, the kind of, it's a donut shape, I guess. So you're pushing it against that with your outside hand, and you're pushing downwards against your thumb with your inside fingers. So you're just adding pressure from both sides to make sure that the teeth glue on and take hold onto that donut shaped piece that will close up the bottom of your tree. Just keep working your way around and making sure that you've got as good of a curve around the outside edge on the bottom of your tree there as you can get. You don't want any corners. Although your tree is actually folded, so it's faceted, you still want it to be in a nice round shape at the bottom. Okay, so once you've done that, then we just start layering pattern paper on top and make it look pretty. So again, I'm using the Sugar Plum collection from My Mind's Eye. They're all lovely papers. They're all quite heavily glittered, or most of them in the collection. And it's all a lot of blues and pinks and some really, you know, non-traditional colours, but it's a really lovely collection. So I've added glue to my little donut shape there, and I'm sliding it over my trunk and popping it into place. And again, I'm adding some pressure with my fingers on the inside and my thumb on the outside. And then you have this long rectangular piece. I'm just curving it before I add it to my trunk. So this is going to cover up our trunk area. And all of the trees go together in the same way. So the dimensions are slightly different on each one, but they all go together in the same way. So I'm just making sure that that front edge is kind of tacky, you know, kind of taking hold, and then I wrap the rest of it round, ease it round with my hands, and slide it up just a little bit, make sure, you know, it's in place. Then once I'm happy with that, I can move on to covering the cone area. Now you've got a random pattern here with your holes. They're deliberately not in any kind of pattern. So your pieces can only go over one facet of your cone. So what you want to do is you want to offer it up while it's dry and then add your glue on, so you know where it needs to go. And I'm just going around the edge of the triangle, and then I put a little bit around the hole, just so it doesn't kind of come away where the hole is. And then you just want to smooth it into place. So again, I'm picking up the next piece. I'm looking around on the tree for where this piece goes. Each piece can only go on one facet of your cone. Adding my glue and then popping it into place and smoothing it down. And I'll keep working my way around. One thing I will recommend with the pattern paper choice that you make for your trees is to use non-directional pattern paper. So if you've got anything with a scene that has to be the right way up, or if you've got anything with writing that obviously needs to be the right way up, that may not be the best choice for this particular project, because the pieces are cut kind of in a curve. It's difficult for the scene to carry all the way around the tree in the right direction. So I would pick a non-directional pattern paper. So here I'm using snowflakes on another one. I've got one that's got poinsettia, and my third tree is a tartan, which all work great. But I think the only thing that I could think of that may not work is something that's got script on it, you know, writing, or some kind of picture that needs to be the right way up. So obviously flowers and snowflakes, doesn't matter which way round they go, so they work absolutely great. Now, like I say, all three trees go together in the same manner. The dimensions are slightly different. They're not just shrunk down versions of each other. They are slightly different, but they do all go together in the same way. And then in a moment, when I've covered the tree over, I'm going to show you the different electronic lights that I tested, you know, that would fit within all three of your trees. And I'll show you those in a moment. Now, I left my trees quite plain because they're going to be used as luminaries. But if you decide to embellish your trees, put any other embellishments on the outside of your tree, then, you know, I'd love to see that. Any of your projects that you make using files from Birds SVGs, we'd absolutely love to see them. So do feel free to share them on our Facebook page so everybody can have a look. Okay, so just popping the last piece into place here. And then I'll just show you some of the electronic lights that I've used. This is an LED pillar candle. And then I've got a little, this is a set of 20 rice lights. And then I've got, this is actually a waterproof LED light. And they're all widely available on Amazon and eBay and places like that. So these will all be easy for you to source if you don't already have them in your stash. And I hope that you enjoy using these throughout the Christmas period, and they bring, you know, a little bit of a glow and warmth to your home decor.